Alright, this is what's happening today. I have done videos messing with that Cuckoo clock up there. I messed with it a while back, but the bellows I need to redo. And then this one I've had in the house. I bought this one probably 15 years ago and have never done anything to it. But one of the bellows messed up. And you know the old if it ain't broke don't fix it. Well, I fixed the bellows with some of this tyvek, and then it started putting too much tension, so it started quitting on me. And so I went back in it, and then this is the original bellows. This is leather here, so you can see that needs to be redone. Well, there's a guy down the road, surprisingly enough, that's a clock guy. So I went down there yesterday and he looked at the mechanism and he said to just clean it in my ultrasonic and just use Dawn, and that all the pivots were fine and it didn't need any rebushing or anything. But I cleaned it and it doesn't look that clean to me. But then looking in here, you can see all of that residue. Now this is just from about 10 minutes. You can see the residue in the case, but see all that's left down in there? So it obviously did clean it pretty good. I mean, that's, move this out of the way. See, that's all residue. See all that? And you don't get very much, and anyway, I'm going to tear this one off and try to fix this and clean my little Cuckoo and get it all back rolling. Alrighty. Okay, this I'm just going to put a hinge on here first. Let's see if that's big enough. That's just a piece of scrap. That just will work. Okay, the one I did before, I just took a little spacer about that big, just a piece of, like, that's thicker than business card. Gosh, that's what I use though, something about like that. They said that you got a little just kind of line everything up like it was. Now it appears it's better to put plenty of this glue because it's gonna kind of soak into the paper, and you know, not too much, but it hadn't really come through the paper yet. And this wood's probably so dry. There's my ultrasonic just cut off. I need to flip that over. Again, I've only done one of these ever, so as far as a tutorial, this is the down and dirty of a novice. And what, if you've never done it, you probably encounter. And just kind of go for it. Let's see how wide that is. That's just kind of guesstimating. We'll set this down for a minute and flip over that ultrasonic. Let me see if that'll... Alrighty. You need to bring this straight back. Kind of get more up in that corner there because it wants to crease a little at the right angle, the proper angle, not the right angle, but alright, now this is only like 15 minutes. I should let this dry more, but I'm just gonna cut some of this paper off so it doesn't have as much to move around. And you're supposed to leave it hanging off of the back to like double up on the hinge. The only spot that isn't really sticking is right there in that corner. Shouldn't have put all that glue up there on the paper, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. Alright, now this one I bent. This looks like this. Miraculously, it looks like it's sticking. I hear a noise. This was almost a used piece of paper. This was one that I first tried, which that looks seated decent. That's all right. But anyway, that'll work. It's like watching paint dry, but you're watching glue dry. This is the second one I've ever done. I'm pretty pleased with that, because it, according, to these directions here, you lay your piece of paper out and then you put your thing on there. Well, the first time I tried it, that's what I did. The second time, I would just put it, I opened the mouth and put it across the mouth, make sure that you're going to have enough when you bend it back, and then stick that good, and then you can lay it down on its side, which is what I did, and then put a little bit of weight. But anyway, that is cool. The hole will be over here to put my thing back in, but that is sweet. Alrighty. Alright, this is just a follow-up. I had made a couple of videos of redoing my tyvek bellows tops, and this is a little clock I've had for about 15 years that ran fine until one of the bellows that was made out of leather broke, and I took it apart and I ultrasonically cleaned the clock and then redid the bellows, but I could never get it back working just right. It would stop running and everything else. So I've got a buddy I just found out that's lived down the road, and I've known him for 20 plus years, but never knew he's a genuine repairman. He can see, he rebushed. I've taken a few of them apart and cleaned them, but I haven't split the plates and done some of the stuff necessary. See that? He bushed. He said he put 6 bushings in this and adjusted the pallet wheel or whatever. He did some, he's way more advanced than me, which that's not saying much because I just learned a little bit on the internet. But anyway, after I did those bellows, I wasn't sure if I had made something too tight. So I went ahead and ordered these off of, I can't remember if it's Time Savers or Time Keepers, but anyway, I ordered these 3 1/8 tall, which would have fit perfect. But see how those are folded relative to the way that I folded them? I pushed in from here, and I figured that might not have been correct, but he said they work fine. So I was glad he got to use the original ones. But anyway, I'm getting ready I did order new hands. But anyway, I'm getting ready to put it back up in its home on that screw up there. And we'll see how she runs. Stand by. So this should be just going off. All right, this is the second day after getting my Cuckoo clock repaired from my neighbor. I replaced the bellows. I redid the bellows myself, but I couldn't get it running, so I took it to my neighbor, who is a clock repairman. Now it's going to go off at 5:59 because it's 1 minute fast. He just got it running. It's been running all day perfectly. I got new hands for it, but I had ultrasonically cleaned it and redid the bellows myself, but I couldn't get it running, and he had to put, he said, 6 bushings in it and polished all the pivots and all of that kind of stuff for me. So he's got another one down there that I'm going to give to my brother. But glad to have her back on the wall. Kind of dark in here, 6 a.m. Glad to have her up. Alrighty. Take her easy.